what's happening everyone? Pragmatic Addict here. So I remember having an early screener for this film that I didn't make it to, and I was curious enough about the film. The reviews it was getting as well as the tone just being so equally and heavily marketed as both a horny film and a horror film. And with this pretty wild tone also came an equally wild premise that just sounded like this movie could have been a lot of fun. And I remember even before getting this screener, having a feeling of, if I can see it, review it, I will. Because there was just so much coming out this weekend. Good Boy, which was my most anticipated release of the week, as well as, at the time, Shelby Oaks. But with Good Boy only being 73 minutes and me having that out of the way, as well as Shelby Oaks getting delayed till the 24th, which I do have a screener for on the 8th, so I will be getting that review out very soon, I decided to check out Bone Lake. A little bit late of a review, but the show goes on. Let's talk about it. A couple's romantic vacation at a secluded lakeside estate is upended when they are forced to share the mansion with a mysterious and attractive couple. In this darkly hilarious and seductive horror story, a dream getaway spirals into a nightmarish maze of sex, lies, and manipulation, bringing terrifying secrets to light and triggering a bloody battle for survival. So right off the bat, you do get a segment when the movie starts that does match these two tones of the movie that were being marketed. Though I wouldn't call it horny, but there is a focus on certain body parts, and with that, also dark humor horror to match this. But when we meet our main couple, there wasn't anything specific or standout about them, but they were likable and human enough, and it was kind of immediate when they arrive at this mansion, which made me that much more engaged with how everything was going to unravel, because this is what the plot centered on, and we haven't gotten really any arc on these characters yet, and so far I did enjoy them. But when this other mysterious couple arrives, I will say, they did seem like your stereotypical cliche, sketchy mystery couple, which because of that, I was hoping that that was deliberate and was maybe meant to throw us off a little bit. But regardless, I still didn't know anything about anything in this movie. I didn't know where things were going to go in this film. I didn't know the history behind this place or anything about whatever couple. And for a while, the movie does just feel like setup. You don't really know where it's leading, what its point exactly is, and it's tense and unpredictable in that way. But touching on this movie as a horror-horny hybrid, there was much more sexuality in the movie, in my opinion, than horror. Like, to the point where most of the movie, I was confused as to where the horror movie label actually came from. There was some tension throughout. There are a few brief hints of horror stuff, but the horror doesn't really come in the movie until like the final act. But there is a point in the movie, which again does take a little bit for it to get there, but it's where something big, pretty unexpected does happen, something involving a ring that definitely felt like a snap where anything now could officially happen. But in saying this thing that happens, how it was dealt with, I did see a lot of stupid character decisions. So while it was effective on one hand as a way to get whatever this story was going further, it wasn't as effective as it fully could have been. But it does lead to interesting character backgrounds, more arc, and I will say, following this point as the tension rises, things were a bit predictable. But regardless of that and some dumb character decisions again, I was still rooting for our main couple because the manipulation that was clearly going on was just so hard to watch. And you can see that this couple that is being manipulated are trying to not completely fall into that. But this other mysterious couple, they just know what to say, know what to do to overpower that a bit, and even the things this manipulative couple is bringing up to manipulate these people, there was some fun mysteries with all that as well, like just some questions and subjects that they were bringing up to fuck with these people. And I'll say, once you see where this is all leading to at first, which is a little obvious as far as what this couple is trying to do to this other couple, as soon as it gets there, the movie kind of halts and leaves you in the dark a bit, and instead does a total switch where it does start to just straight up reveal other shit to kind of keep you on your toes. And that reveal that's halted here as far as an answer, which is kind of the point of the movie. The fact that you're left in the dark with it to where our main couple actually goes from here It was pretty unexpected and super engaging, but now officially touching on the final act, which is where a lot of the horror really comes in, it does feel like it goes on a bit too long. Things did feel a bit cliche. There were some dumb character decisions, and I think the reason why it feels like it goes on for a bit too long is because of these two things, but it also is pretty tropey with the type of horror that it mainly centers on. But still, the movie was just a tense horror mystery, and I did enjoy it. And overall, I'm going to give Bone Lake a positive review. So guys, that does it for my thoughts on Bone Lake. For those that saw this movie, definitely let me know what your guys' thoughts were about it in the comments below. But with all that being said, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video very soon. Take care and have a great day, guys.